Welcome to Sandwiches of History. Today we're doing an international sandwich. It's the Croque Monsieur from France. Apparently it was first mentioned in literature in 1918 in Proust's In Search of Lost Time, but it had been served in cafes since around 1910, and it's a little bit of a cooking process, but boy howdy, this is going to be delicious. Later on, towards the 60s, it became popular to have an egg on top of it, and it was called the Croque Madame. That's because the egg resembled a lady's hat. First, we got to melt some butter. Next, we stir in some flour. That's right, we're making a roux. And we whisk in milk. And we got to bring that up to a boil to thicken. And I should correct myself, you don't have to bring it to a boil. That's just when a roux gets to its full thickening power, but you can see that it's thickened up pretty nicely without even coming to a boil. So we want it thick, but pourable. So at this point, I think I am going to turn off the heat, add salt, black pepper, lots of it, and nutmeg. Okay, now we move on to the rest of the sandwich. Okay, so next we toast our bread on one side for 5 minutes at 400 degrees. Then we flip them and put them in for 3 minutes more. Okay, now on one of the pieces of toast, we brush on some Dijon mustard, on slices of ham, some grated Gruyere cheese, and we top that with our other piece of toast, and we put on our bechamel sauce. We can be generous with this. And we top that with more Gruyere cheese. And then we put in the oven 400 degrees for about 5 minutes. Okay, now that it's looking good and melty, we're going to turn on the broiler for a few minutes. Glorious. This is definitely a knife and fork kind of sandwich, so let's give this Croque Monsieur a go. Come on. The crunch of the bread, the ham with the mustard, and the Gruyere cheese all working together on the inside. Then on the top you've got a bechamel with Gruyere cheese that's made a little bit nuttier by broiling it. Oh man. That said, I am going to plus it up. And I know it might seem like heresy, but I'm going to do it in a way that honors the sandwich. Now if you've been watching for a while, you know that I'm a fan of Chef Jacques Pepin, and one of his favorite things in the world is Tabasco. And I think that's going to be really quite tasty to cut through all the richness here. Okay, let's give this Croque Monsieur plussed up with Tabasco sauce a go. Alright, so the original Croque Monsieur sandwich, I'm going to go ahead and give a 9 to. And the only reason it's not a 10 is because the Tabasco brought it up to a 10. That is just a wonderful combination. The vinegar, almost fruitiness of the Tabasco peppers coming through and playing really well with the nutmeg, with the bechamel, with the cheese, and the ham. Man, I'm going to finish that and then take a nap and the rest of the afternoon off. See you tomorrow.